You do not want to know what Ballz was talking about before we took the live stream here. Oof, no. He was talking about banging hose in bathrooms. That's what he was talking about. And he laughs, but he doesn't deny it. Notice that.
No. I was going to say, I love the fact that you're like, you don't want to know. I'm going to tell you right now what it was.
I mean, people are going to ask anyway, so I might as well get it out of the way.
But when you explain it out of context. So it just makes me sound like a terrible person as opposed to, anything having to do with what you'd said.
Let's dive into that about you being a terrible person.
Let's dive into that about you framing me as a terrible person.
No, I'm just trying to let people know the smut that you try to bring to the show and that I'm the class act.
I mean, the name's Ballz. I mean, I bring the smut every week.
This is very true. You'll be happy to know. I have some people that will be like, oh, man, it's so hot outside. It's hot as balls. And I'll be like, you think my friend's hot?
And I'll be like.
And then some people were like, yeah, he's all right. And other people are like, you have a friend named Ballz?
Those people aren't your friends.
Not really. No. But you and I see that we're both a bit festive. I mean, we're usually always pretty dorky, but
yes.
With our Comic-Con geek shirts, our nerd shirts, Marvel. I mean, well, I guess mine's just Stan Lee brand, but associated with Marvel. San Diego Comic-Con at home, whatever. Big event. I don't know about your feed, but my feed's been nothing but I should be in San Diego this week.
Yep, 100%. Oh man,
and
I've never gotten to go, so this year isn't any different for me.
I like San Diego Comic-Con. I don't love it like people that do, though. I would go on Thursday. Like when I lived in California, I'd go on that Thursday, and one day was enough for me. I'm not waiting in lines to try to get a ticket to then be able to wait in another line to get an exclusive or camp out overnight to get a seat in Hall H.
I would love to go once just for the experience of doing it.
Yeah.
I don't need to make it a yearly pilgrimage or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean it's fun, but of course you and I you're still in it. Myself, I dabble from time to time. I'm more of like a consultant at this point, a Comic-Con consultant. Triple C, if you will. But so it's different on our side of things. It's still a good time because it's something different and frankly massive and almost overwhelming at times for people like us. But it's something else. But there wasn't a lot of announcements made for stuff that for collectibles, which we're going to get to the WWE stuff. We got some examples, and so if you like the toy talk, we got the toy talk.
Yeah,
because that guy, slowly but surely, I'm getting better at that. That guy is where's Fig Speak? What's the status of Fig Speak podcast?
Honestly, Fig Speak, we're just on hiatus due to the whole Corona thing. We record together. Unlike us, where we can be in different states and record. Fig Speak has always been in one room, 3 microphones, just recording that way. And, some of us aren't set up with good internet at home to record like this. So, and it's just not safe enough to hang out together at this point yet. So
you have dirty friends. I understand that. I've seen your co-hosts. Yeesh.
I mean, yes.
All right. So anyway, Fig Speak Podcast is an action figure podcast, a collectible podcast that's on hiatus right now, as he says. So, what was that? What are you drinking over there, bud?
It's a sweet tea.
Sweet tea. Since when are you responsible?
Hey, I have not had pop since March.
That is soda for anybody on the West Coast.
For any of you not in the Northeast of the country.
Now, I had an experience with Funko Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Much like everybody else did, apparently. So, for anybody not aware, a lot of you probably are if you're watching this show, but for not aware, Funko and the Pops, basically, there's a lot of shared collectibles. So, San Diego will have their own exclusive sticker. And then GameStop, Hot Topic, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, all these other retailers will have the same pop, but a different sticker. Yeah. And the sticker's a big deal to certain collectors because then it's worth more and whatever. I mean, if you're trading, you're flipping, if you're planning on selling it down the line, then yeah, it's probably a better sticker to have. But how rabid people are for these can be a little absurd if you ask me, in my humble opinion. But with that said, Funko.com or the Funko shop had exclusives that right now are not shared collectibles, and one of those, or 5 of those, were the Anchorman Pops. Which, as you know, you've heard this story before. I've been collecting since before most people even knew who Funko was. And I remember going into like a Hot Topic wherever I was living, and I'm getting CM Punk off of the wall. I'm getting, all of these. And they're seeing their coming soon list. And Anchorman was on there. This was like 7 years ago. And I was so excited. I'm like, yes, Anchorman's one of my all-time favorite movies. And then all of a sudden it got canceled. No reason, like if it was a licensing thing. I thought maybe Will Ferrell didn't agree to it, but then he had Talladega Night one. So probably not that. So anyway, didn't know what the hell was going to happen there. And so they finally announced that they're making some. Three Anchormans, 3 Ron Burgundys, a Brian Fantana one that is scented. Probably like Sex Panther. 60% of the time, it works every time. And then Brick Tamlin, the Steve Carell character. And of course, those aren't shared exclusives. So I'm like, great. Now I have to go to their damn online store if I want to get these. Because I don't even know if they're going to have commons of Anchorman coming out.
That's what that's probably part of the logistics deal is it has to be a straight up San Diego exclusive and it can't go to stores.
Right.
I see this in other collectibles all the time.
Yeah. So it's like there's a couple key characters from the movie that don't have pop. So I'm wondering if there is going to be a general common line that will be out at retailers, but these won't be a part of that set. So I was there. They went on sale at Eastern time at 8:00. I was there at 8:00 and I was already checked out, clicking the button by 8:01. I got the 5 I wanted right away. Click. Didn't even try for the other ones because I knew it'd just slow me down. 50 minutes later, I was finally able to secure my order.
Oh,
not 15, 50. I mean, it was rough. And because the shipping thing, Funko, like 2 weeks ago, had an issue and just calculating shipping, thinking. And you're right there. You can click on things, you can hover. It's not like your page froze.
Oh, man.
So it was something else. Funko's like tweeting out and posting on Instagram, don't refresh your page. Don't open up another window, please. And I lucked out. By the time I got around 50 minutes later, all 5 of mine were still in my cart. But a lot of people would have like 8 things in their cart and 4 of them were sold out.
Yes.
So I kind of lucked out on that one. And
you did. I mean, that was a huge issue this week with some of the other one stuff. NECA G.I. Joe figures at Target sold out in a minute.
Yeah.
Pre-orders. It's been crazy recently.
Hopefully that means that some of these retailers will see, these producers, the production lines will see, hey, there's a hungry market. There's a thirsty market for it right now. So maybe it'll keep going. But that was my fun. And you did probably see a few tweets from me very upset. Like, come on, Funko, this again. It's over toys. And now we're about to get all worked up over pro wrestling.
And pro wrestling toys.
and that too. We're going to do that end of the show, second half of the show. You want to do that?
Sounds good.
Do 6 things right now then?
Yeah.
I want to point out the guy that called us out for being late last week isn't even here.
Oh.
Where's he at? Where you at, Nathan?
I'm on time. I showed up.
You're late. Where you at? That should have been one of the 6 things on my mind.
Right?
No. So I do actually have 6 wrestling-oriented things because, we just talked Funko and San Diego Comic-Con, so I kind of figured that's, That's so number 1. Let's just get it out of the way right now. Oh, the horror show. the horror show at Extreme Rules. We made the prediction last week. Some we got right, some we got wrong, which is usually a good pay-per-view because if we get all of them right, it's kind of boring.
No, totally.
And probably a lot of bad decisions there, especially if you hear our reasoning. The reason I started out with this one, not just because it's a little bit further in the past as of this recording, but because it's an unpopular opinion here. I kind of enjoyed it.
Did you?
Everybody else, oh, that was horrible. I lived up to the name. I thought it was fine. I mean, I didn't love it. It wasn't my favorite pay-per-view of the year, but I didn't find it to be that horrible.
I enjoyed certain matches. I thought the whole Bailey putting a ref shirt on and counting 3 was ridiculous. I'm glad it got,
great heel move. Great heel move. That's what people forget. They're heels. They're supposed to piss you off. That's the part that wrestling fans don't get. And there's going to be a comeuppance the next day or in the future. That's pro wrestling. But for some reason, people have forgotten this.
You don't know. I had zero faith that something was going to happen to have that reversed or overturned or be like, hey, you're not a real ref. I had zero faith. And I was positive they were going to be like, the results stand. And we were going to be like, what? Why?
You're out of the mind. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Now he's here. Look who's late. Yeah. Nice to see you, Nathan, if that's your real name. So I also didn't have. All right. This to me, the horror show at Extreme Rules was a B-rated show from the Attitude Era. You go back, the Attitude Era is so shiny and glossy, and everybody looks back on it like it's so great because you remember the Stone Cold moments, you remember the Rock, you remember the bigger moments. To actually watch an old pay-per-view from the Attitude Era, it was ridiculous. The shows were not that good. But we remember in hindsight, nostalgia always makes things shinier than they are.
No, for sure.
And so looking back on it, this show had a lot of twists and turns. It had a lot of gimmicks that we would have gotten 20 years ago during the Attitude Era, but it just didn't have the big stars to distract us from the horribleness. For every Edge and Christian versus the Hardys ladder match, that same pay-per-view had Mick Foley versus Val Venus over Val Venus burning his book. We still have stuff like that. People forget that. This pay-per-view, for people who want the Attitude Era, watch it again with a different mindset. You're like, maybe it wasn't that horrible. It wasn't great, but it wasn't that horrible.
All right. Swamp match. What did you think?
I don't know why people thought they were actually going to get much of a match from a Bray Wyatt produced piece. From a cinematic thing, we had a Funhouse match with John Cena. There was no at least we got some wrestling in this one a little bit.
No, we did. We definitely got more wrestling in this than the Funhouse match.
Right.
I honestly felt like they would have been like, because you read results after WrestleMania that people weren't. While the crowd predominantly liked the Funhouse match, the higher ups in the back didn't, allegedly.
I read otherwise that they absolutely loved it.
Oh, really? I remember reading that people didn't get it. So I thought I almost thought, what's up, Kevin? I almost thought that they would shift more towards the Undertaker AJ match, so that there was more It was still produced and theatrical, but more wrestling. And we did get some of that. Like I put it on Twitter. I thought that was the best use of Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was fantastic.
I think if they do it like the Boneyard match, then it's going to be a little too similar. Or people are going to be like, it's just a knockoff Boneyard match.
Yeah.
Let's preface the rest of this conversation by saying fans are not happy about anything right now. Like, it doesn't matter.
Ever. Yeah, that's true.
Right now, the entitlement is through the roof. So it's either the swamp match has got to be the most creative thing with the best wrestling in the world, or it's bad, it's a knockoff of this, it's lazy. I don't know what people are expecting. We got Alexa Bliss cameo, which I thought was outstanding. We also got a guy on fire, random dude on fire, and I like that.
That was fun.
I can't set a random dude on fire, but I can watch somebody else do it. So so I'm okay with that.
That's true.
But I don't know. I didn't think it was that the eye versus eye. The ending, I think, overshadows so much of the match with the bloody eye. We don't really see it. You have to like still frame it or go online where somebody else then screenshotted what the fake eye. When you nitpick that, if you have to pause the screen to nitpick something, that's on you. That's not on the show. That's on you. But the forced puke afterwards, I'm like, did we need to see Seth Rollins puking?
Nope.
I get what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of it, but I think that could have been implied just as much as the eye was implied.
Yes, totally.
But we're going to get back to the eye versus eye match later on in the sixth thing, sort of, kind of.
Oh, okay.
So hold on to that thought. Hold on to it for a little bit.
Okay.
Bro, more and more. I'm all over the postings, man. I'm all over. I need a break is what I need. I'm sorry. I'm apologetic to everybody that keeps watching these streams because you poor things have to put up with a lot of paleness right here.
We are.
So anyway, I didn't mind Horror Show. I thought it was all right. And I know that's not the popular opinion. It's not the cool thing to say, but nobody's ever thought I was cool before anyway. Number 2, Too Soon. And this is in regards to Sammy Guevara.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to ask your thoughts on this. So, rewinding 30 days, Sammy, many years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, before he was in AEW, was on a podcast and basically said he wanted to rape Sasha Banks.
Yes.
He's apologized to her. He was suspended for 30 days. His money went towards women's foundations and whatnot. So, I'm glad he wasn't canceled in this cancel culture. Because one, it happened when he wasn't in the company. And two, I do think people can grow and learn.
Yes.
Especially when I was in my young 20s to now, there are definitely things I wouldn't say now that I said back then.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely.
Even probably 2 weeks ago, there's probably things that I wouldn't say now. But I ask you, because I've heard a lot of different opinions of this. Do you think 30 days was enough?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. I think, assuming that he did everything that they said he was going to do, because they also talked about him attending counseling. So assuming the counseling actually happened in that 30 days.
Mm-hmm. And Tony Khan said that he did, that he actually went to counseling at like a women's shelter.
Oh, okay.
And was around that environment. And they said he's made some good strides even in 30 days. So, I was a little bit more opposed to it before I read Tony Khan's thoughts.
So to me, yes.
I also didn't think it'd already been 30 days.
That's where I was sitting there trying to go, okay, it's probably been about 30. I knew it was somewhere around there, but I wasn't sure exactly on specific. But yes, for a comment you made 5 or 6 years ago, before you were ever even considered being in the company, to lose your salary for a month, for over something that whether it wasn't taken as a joke, but you say something to get a reaction, whatever the reaction was.
Right.
Yeah, I think 30 days is good.
Okay. Again, once Mr. Owner Man, Tony Khan, once Mr. CEO, whatever the hell his title is, president, once he kind of explained it, I was more okay with it. But at first, I'm like, already? They're back on you. It's like, calm down. I found myself getting full of rage. 6 things on my mind. Number 3, Hurt Business Ain't Hurting. We got a new member this week in Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
So we're one step closer to a quote unquote Nation of Domination 2020 version. Oh, you scoff at that, but have you not read any of that?
I read that could be a direction. Yeah, that's the whole reason Ron Simmons showed up. Yeah.
Wow, I like the strong reaction from you.
I don't need they could be their own thing. Just because they're a group of African American males does not mean they have to be the Nation of Domination.
Well, all the same, the Hurt Business ain't hurting, especially with MVP going on a podcast, not Table Talk, that it mentioned how he's actually negotiating a long-term contract right now, which is amazing because back in January, it was supposed to be like a 1 or 2 off appearance, and he's done.
Yeah, it was supposed to be an appearance at the Royal Rumble so his kid could watch him wrestle.
And then Rey Mysterio, so his son could see him wrestle his favorite wrestler.
Yeah. And then, I mean, let's be honest. If COVID-19 worked out for anyone, it's MVP. Like, I don't think he would have been used nearly as much if they had the full roster at their disposal.
Nope. And it's been great for Bobby Lashley. Shelton Benjamin is now going to get seemingly more consistent TV time, even if he's not the focal point of the group. This is the best use of Shelton that we're probably going to get for the next, at least compared to the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, Shelton's the 24/7 champion, unless he's lost it online in the last day or so.
Not that I'm aware of, but it's very possible.
I'd say I don't think so, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Who knows? He's trading that championship right now. You know, Ron Truth just got him at Shake Shack. And then, I don't know, but MVP, well done. Good for him. I loved his first run in WWE. I loved the MVP, like him feuding for that U.S. title with Matt Hardy. And that was a really good MVP. And then he got frustrated. You could tell he wasn't happy, and he was doing independence and he did all right in TNA and Impact, but you could tell it just still wasn't MVP. But now he's finding that stride again. He says he's got about 2 or 3 years of bumps left in him. So I think it's kind of cool. I'm very happy for him. He's getting himself in some great shape, and it really is nice to see. Really nice to see that.
I remember the Beatdown Clan was TNA. That was the precursor to the Hurt Business, really. I mean, right,
and that's the Nation of Domination meets Beatdown Clan.
Yeah,
pancake together, not pancakes by the New Day or Big E or anybody. That's trademarked. I can't do that. Number 4 thing on my mind: Cody Rhodes Highway. Where is he going? No, seriously. I agree with a lot of the frustrations from AEW fans this week, where Eddie Kingston answered the challenge and whatnot, which is cool. Follow up to some stuff, jabbing that they've done, some jarring that they did online. So I'm fine with all that. But Cody Rhodes gets dumped into the thumbtacks.
Yeah.
And not even 5 minutes later, he wins the match. Where Kingston didn't take the thumbtacks or anything, but Cody's able to kick out and be. It just seems like Cody now is almost being built up too much. Because now if somebody, unless it's a hell of a finisher, when he loses, I'm going to be like, but is that worse than thumbtacks?
I understand completely what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
So I want to know where they're going. This is the highway. I want to know where he's going. Like the only way at this point he can lose is a roll up.
You almost need him at this point to, like, if the star isn't at a certain level and it has to be a certain level of finisher with a certain level of violence to even justify winning the TNT championship. And you're like, was that better than so-and-so? No, absolutely. Like
the only thing I can think of right now is that they are trying to do some sort of Razor Ramon 1, 2, 3 kid situation where all of a sudden Cody gets beat by an unknown, and that unknown then is the new TNT champion. Like that's where I think they're going towards, because when you got this guy going into thumbtacks, bare skin and all, and kick out, and then winning a minute or two later. I don't know.
No, I think you're right. I think, he'll start getting cocky that he's survived so much, and, maybe he's not listening to Arn as much. Maybe, however that works. And then, he gets beaten by an unknown or, someone off the independent, something like that. And it makes that kid's career, and Cody puts him over.
That, or if he does become a heel and Arn doesn't want to work with him anymore or something. So, I mean, I could see. Hopefully they got a direction for this, and it's not just an open challenge every week, and Cody's going to be set on fire a la the swamp match, and he still gets the win, I mean. Yeah,
no, that's been my big complaint, is that they paint themselves into a corner, and now they just made it worse. Like, by adding hardcore rules and stuff into it, they've just made it worse on themselves.
We'll see what happens there. Moving over to a show that we don't talk about nearly enough. Impact TNA. Well, old habits die hard. After all these years, I still call it TNA Impact.
Yep. I do
Impact
too.
Wrestling, who has some stars ready to go at the pay-per-view, didn't use them all, which I was okay with that bait and switch. I know some people thought it was weird, but we've seen the pictures backstage. The Motor City Machine Guns are back, and your tag team champions, Heath Slater or Heath Miller or whatever the hell his name is now. I don't know. The Good Brothers are there. EC3 is obviously back. Eric Young is back. And I know there's probably others that I'm missing here. But what do you think? Out of that general core, good group?
I think Hawkins is the only one that I know for sure is
Hawkins,
is there. And they mentioned he's back at Impact, but I don't remember him being there before. So I might just not be remembering something.
Very early days, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a good group. I think it's a varied group. I mean, EC3 has made a name for himself just in doing vignettes and everything, just getting his new character direction over. The Good Brothers, I think, will be great because it's part of their deal that they can still go work in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's smart for them and for TNA because, them being affiliated with anyone in Japan is going to help out their runs in TNA. Heath, not Slater, hooking back up with Rhino is definitely a good thing. Eric Young getting to be crazy and actually be on TV.
Yeah.
All of that is good for Impact Wrestling. And the Machine Guns being back is just icing on the cake, I think. I think they've made huge strides in doing stuff now for Impact Wrestling.
I'm looking at to Kurt Hawkins, bio here. I repeated him. And trying to see. He's been a WWE guy since 2006. So this whole return thing is odd.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he was not in WWE for a while before he came back again, but I don't remember him going there. I don't know. I know he did some House of Hardcore stuff with Tommy Dreamer and everything, and obviously Dreamer's an Impact now. So, but I think that's a good group. I think. Are you more surprised that
2015?
2015. So it was while he was on break.
As a member of the Global Force Wrestling roster.
Ah.
Yeah, so and he was a TNA World Tag Team Champion. So we suck on that one.
I'll be honest, Global Force Wrestling is completely blocked out of my mind.
I think the only reason I remember it because I was there at the shows that never made it to air.
And they had really good lighting. I remember.
Really good lighting. Oh my God. Best in the business.
Now, number one, what do you think about the group? And then number two, are you surprised that no one has surfaced in AEW yet?
No, I'm not really too surprised by that. I think AEW is going to be very selective with who they bring in, and they want to be smart about it because they only have so much TV time, and they have a lot of stars already struggling to find that TV time consistently. So you're not going to want to bring another guy in or girl just to to bury another young talent or to not use the talent you just signed. So I think they're okay. Impact, I think, is a pretty good group overall. Nobody there is going to put butts in seats, so to speak. They're not going to pop the ratings. No one star there is going to be oh my God, they're on Impact now.
Yeah.
So it's not a Kurt Angle jump. It's not a Christian Cage jump. It's nobody in those regards, but they're all solid wrestlers and entertainers, and they can all fit into the system well.
No, I agree with that totally.
And I think there's a chip on all their shoulders where the Good Brothers are going to want to show that they're one of the best tag teams in the world. Heath, not Slater, the Ginger Ninja, is he's got a chance. Got a chance to shine. Where Drew really kind of made a name for himself in Impact after being fired from WWE. Yeah. I think there's possibilities here. So
for sure.
Eric Young can go back to really whatever character he needs to go to. EC3, let's see if he can. I think he's like close to that frustration. Like he's walking that line that if things don't go his way, I could see him just kind of throwing his arms up in frustration, but I'm done.
Yep.
I'm not doing this for a while, but I don't know. So anyway, I like it. And then sixth thing on my mind, number 6, unsanctioned tomfoolery.
Ooh.
So I talked about eye for an eye, right? And I said I'm going to come back to it. WWE officials will sanction that match. But on Raw, they will not sanction Randy Orton versus The Big Show. It was an unsanctioned main event. Just by principle alone.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
No, not
they
at
should
all.
both be unsanctioned because they should not be like, ooh, you could kill another legend, Randy. I don't know. I mean, Christian's already at home feeling perfectly fine and appearing on video, but Big Show might be out 2 weeks. We can't have that. But oh yeah, go ahead, pluck Rey Mysterio's eyeball out. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's fine. He's got another. Do you see what the problem is? That's a little unbalanced.
Absolutely. There's no consistency at all there. Not at all.
The priorities. And I know the one is a bit more personal than the other. It's just still
I don't know. I think it's funny that the Orton Big Show is probably actually more personal than Mysterio getting his eye torn out.
Well, I mean, with the kid getting involved in everything, I mean, it's kind of they're both personal. They're both been pretty solidly booked feuds overall. I actually give him a lot of credit. I'm surprised by how strong both of those feuds overall were, regardless of what you think of the match quality. But yeah, one guy could get kicked in the head, the other guy could lose an eye. The eye's fine.
The eye's fine.
Don't grow another one.
They're very concerned about head trauma, not face trauma.
It's true.
Just
it's very true.
Concussions. They don't want that, but vision impairment, they're fine with that. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah,
it's a gray area.
Just wear an eye patch. I wish I had an eye patch, so I just wear
one. New on the Wrestling Audio store. It's the Wrestling Audio eye patch.
Yeah, come on, Greg, the sound guy, get on that.
It's like that's not true. Don't go look for it.
You son of a not yet.
Not yet.
As soon as they offer it, we will though make that happen. Yeah. All right. So that's all from me. I'm going to let you kind of take over the toy talk here. I have a couple graphics to show. Some by his request. Some he doesn't know what's coming. No Guess the Groin, even though I did think about it. I Guess the Groin San Diego Comic-Con edition.
And that was my fear is you're going to hit me with one that like debuted today, and I'd barely even seen any of it.
I thought about it. Yeah, like a Tegan Knox or somebody that who wears teal?
Right? Like that's man. But I think one of the things I noticed about, Mattel seemed to come out of the gate for San Diego today with a bunch of announcements, which is good. I mean, it seems like recently we haven't had nearly the lead up to announcements like we normally get.
Well, it's good for our minds and our hearts. It's not good for our wallets or bank accounts.
No. Because no matter how much I can try to be out and try to cut back, they're going to announce stuff that I'm going to want. Yeah. They announced, as we've mentioned multiple times this month, Street Profits. Like a really good Street Profits figures got announced. So that is exciting.
I'm trying to. So I'm a collector where Ballz is a collector where you're typically one and done. So as long as you got that character, then he or she's in your collection. Me, if I really like a star, I want to keep supporting them. So I have I think I counted 21 or 22 Gold Dust figures. Macho Man's even more than that. Ultimate Warrior's probably above that. So it's like, if you really like a certain character, Boogeyman, they're all up there. But you're one and done. So I'm trying to get better about, I'm impatient. So I'll be like, ooh, Bianca Belair figure. So I get the basic, knowing they'll be an elite eventually.
Yeah.
But I want it now.
Worse. It's even worse with the women's figures, because
with the lady figures,
there's not a whole lot different between the basics and the elite on the women.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although you don't open yours, so it doesn't really matter if the articulation's any different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
But anyway, I'm learning from you, and I'm holding off on the Street Profits on the basics.
Yeah.
And I'm going to wait for the elites to come out in a matter of months.
Now,
I thought you'd be proud of me.
I've learned from you because back there is like 10 or 11 Finn Balor's.
It's fun to have, especially when you get a character that is like Finn Balor in the past, had so many different attires and whatnot. I can see why people enjoy like collecting Rey Mysterio.
Oh yeah,
or something, or even John Cena, just because every feud had a different color scheme. You know, it's
the skill of WWE. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, I think not only did they do a lot of announcements, I think the biggest thing that I've seen that caught me right away was the sheer the number of women, because something we always get is, oh, there's not enough ladies in the line. So far, just announced today was a new Chyna, an updated role model Bayley,
the wrestler Chyna. Like anybody just tuning in, they're like, "What new Chyna?"
It's, I believe, judging by the photos I saw, I think it's when she was with Eddie Guerrero, I believe, or somewhere very close to that era.
That purple outfit, whatnot. Yeah.
Dakota Kai, Mia Yim, Toni Storm, like you said, Bianca Belair, a new Alexa Bliss,
Tegan Knox,
Mae Young, Candice LeRae. Announced, but it only in grayscale. They haven't finished paint or anything yet.
Maybe that's her next look. Maybe that was a spoiler.
Probably was. Since she was on the panel, it was like, hey, we need to show this. A new Ultimate Edition Charlotte Flair and a new Shayna Baszler. Like, that's a ton of women being announced, which is fantastic.
And if you go back to yesterday's announcements as well, the first day announcements, there's even more to add, like the Naomi one.
Oh, yeah.
Which has the glow belt.
Yes.
And the full glow fur coat and everything, which I think is great. I want to see it in person because I don't think the face looks anything like her, though. The rest of it looks outstanding.
That's gonna suck. And I mean, we will talk about faces not looking like people later. But and then for the other side of the spectrum, there's those that only collect classics or legends, and they got a ton of those. And like most recently in the elites, they haven't been doing nearly as many. So, but they seem to have, especially for you, Ultimate Edition's Macho Man.
I was gonna say, we're talking about classic editions. They have the new, the I'm Your Poppy Eddie Guerrero coming out.
Yeah,
and I'm very excited for that one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I interrupted, please.
Ricky Steamboat. Roddy Piper with boxing gloves. Mr. T, who's apparently like the belle of the ball now with WWE figures.
Yeah. We'll continue on that. But yes, they got the rights. They got the copyright to Mr. T. So have at it, boys.
British Bulldog, classic Jerry Lawler, stunning Steve Austin, who is not at all.
Got to get a matching Pillman to that one.
You'll have to now. Paul Ellering Build-A-Figure.
Wait.
Yeah.
Look at that. And you get both eras of Ellering too. I mean, if you're an old school fan, this probably just cracked you up.
The only part about it that sucks is it is a Build-A-Figure. So to get all the parts for Paul Ellering, you have to buy 4 other figures. And if you want to build both Paul Ellerings to go with your AOP collection, you need 8 figures to build that. And
who gets the puppet? Like which star, which figure gets packaged with a dummy?
With a weird dummy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I want to know. Like, is it even gonna make sense?
I don't know enough about classic Paul Ellering to understand the dummy, but damned if it isn't an interesting thing.
I just want to see which star, like which current star gets packaged with that,
Oh yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Nikolai Volkov, HBK, DDP, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, 2 different versions of the $1 Million Man, and then Andre the Giant, and I think another Macho Man that both come with WrestleMania 3, the ring chariots.
Yeah.
Which
that's pretty awesome.
Is awesome.
I don't know if you had mentioned this one or not. I think that was a day one announcement.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge superstar Billy Graham fan. I mean, I never disliked him, but it was not one of my favorites. As time has gone on and he's lost his mind more, I find myself liking him a little bit less. But I have to say, this is an outstanding figure.
No, that's fantastic. The paint, the fact, like Ellering, you get both different heads, so you can swap eras of Billy Graham. That's amazing. Fantastic.
I think I can smell his armpits.
You think you got what?
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 Nothing. Keep going.
Oh man. I don't know. Let me see. What? This is where it would help if I knew what photos you had.
Well, you asked me for some, so
I did. That's true. So I know two of the ones we talked about. I think you're super excited about the Firefly Funhouse figure.
Boom.
They did announce that when the figure actually comes out, his belly button will be covered up, so it doesn't look like he's wearing a skin-tight shirt. And the eyes on one of the puppets will be the blue that they're supposed to be. So there will be a face correction that, but what's that?
And that happens. I mean, people don't realize that, you know, it's not necessarily what you see now is absolutely what you get. This is just, you know, this is the draft almost, you know, the rough draft.
No, and I believe these are going to be ringside exclusive, but they're amazing.
And it's less than 30, which actually surprises me. I thought with them putting it up today, I thought it was going to be cha-ching, but it's really not too bad. I think it's slated for a September release, which also isn't bad.
No, that's soon. In Toy World, that's soon.
So I'll probably actually be pre-ordering it here soon, just because it's got the little puppets and whatnot. Sister Abigail, the Vince McMahon one. I mean, it's.
You know, there's gonna be like a wave 2 with like a Huskus puppet.
Good. And bring it on. I want the Bray Wyatt with him in the dance video. Remember that?
Yes, I do actually.
We need more of that.
No, we do need more of that. I'm hoping we do like cardboard, like a back room, so you can like hang paintings and stuff up.
That's what I'm waiting for too. Yeah.
The deluxe ultimate version of Bray Wyatt, and then we got the Fiend Ultimate Edition. So Ultimate is there basically like the top of the line, you could say. The one with the most articulation, most paint accessories, most applications, and everything like that.
A lot of extras typically.
Yes. Multiple heads normally. So we got 2 of the Fiend heads, the belt, the jacket, which is different. I don't think the Elite had the jacket.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, so this is like a whole nother level as far as your Fiend goes, which is awesome.
It does feel a little light though. Like compared to the other Ultimates that have a much more established career for that specific wrestler, you know, to not have the other Bray Wyatt appearances feels
and that's why I think you with the Elite figure you don't have the jacket, but you have the lantern. So like if you would have stuck the lantern in here, you would have just gotten complaints that you're getting the same accessory over and over again.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else you could have put with the Fiend to make it a little bit more jam. And then maybe they will still add things by the time it comes out, but as of right now, it's a great looking figure. It is just a little light accessory wise.
Oh, I agree with that. It is magnifique looking, but just seems a little light for the line. That's all.
No, it does. I think there's a Charlotte one that I think to me was a little light for the line too. It's basically just her on the road.
I agree with that. There's 2 heads on her, and then the big pink robe and get up, which I don't have a picture of that. I'm sorry, but
no, you're fine. I'm trying to think. I thought there was a Macho Man one too, but maybe it was just an Elite. I thought that the Macho Man with like yellow and pink, I thought was an Ultimates edition too, that I thought looked a little scarce. Just a hat, sunglasses, and
but they could probably add even more hats and sunglasses.
Oh yeah,
so
no, for sure.
I wonder if all of these, this is just the foundation of what's coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I think the one that I think I've been waiting for, and since it got canceled because he can't keep his mouth shut, is Hollywood Hogan. Like if you have an NWO collection, it's been, naked without your Hollywood Hulk Hogan. There was another company that did a Hogan, but this one will match all of your Mattel stuff. It has the facial hair,
the bad guy scruff.
This is more what an Ultimate Edition one looks like. 3 different heads. You got the boa, multiple hands, sunglasses. I don't know what you're doing over there.
I'm trying to do it like his facial expression.
The NWO belt. I know I've cut back greatly on what I'm buying, but I'm gonna have to pick this up. Like I need this for my NWO set.
Oh man, what year was that? I'm trying to see what year that was.
What year?
I dressed up as Hollywood
Hogan. That I don't know.
And I was gonna see like how I compare to it. I'm like looking through my files right now trying to find it, but God, these years blur together.
Now you had mentioned Naomi, having a figure that doesn't look like her. I think someone who's a victim of that more than possibly any other star that I, in recent memory off the top of my head, would be Edge.
Okay.
Edge has had so many figures that to me don't look like Edge at all. Now, like we have this one, which I think is Ultimate Edition Edge.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure which Edge you wanted because there was a couple of them, by the way.
Oh yeah. This is the one I was looking at. Yeah. With like the weird screaming head. His Elite version is just like the sleeveless one. Where this has his full jacket and entrance attire from Mania or from Royal Rumble. I mean,
right.
No, but I think this gives me false sense of hope because this looks like Edge.
False sense of security.
It is. The one they just put out that was a ringside exclusive that had Hawkins and Ryder in it, so you could kind of build your edge heads. Mm-hmm. Didn't look like Edge at all. Like I have literally not purchased an Edge figure because they don't look like him.
Right.
However, this one, I'm gonna have to get this Edge figure. If this comes out looking like this, they nailed Edge so much in this figure that I'm gonna have to buy it.
Okay.
It looks fantastic.
I get it. I did find something else I want to share with everybody though.
Ooh, okay.
It's obviously a tasteful nude.
Oh, okay, good. I'm fantastic. The rated X superstar.
Yeah. All right, and I didn't get to crop this ahead of time, so it may take up a lot of the screen.
Okay.
Or all of it.
or the entire screen.
From the tapings that never really saw the light of day.
With that fantastic lighting.
Great lighting. I mean, look at that outstanding lighting.
Yeah, I mean, look at it. It just covered it basks in a green glow.
And it stayed like that like the whole show. It was glorious. It was glorious.
Now, I didn't even count how many figures got announced today. There will still be more announced over the weekend. Normally what they do is they still build more and more announcements, even though there's no people looking at a display case.
Yeah, there's no people.
They'll digitally do some more announcements. But were there any that you were just super hyped about?
Super hyped. A lot of them. Probably too many of them.
Well, for your wallet, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we covered the Bray Wyatts.
Yes.
We covered the Macho Mans. I'm always going to get excited for that stuff. The Edge, Mattel's had the damnedest time trying to get a good Edge. So, happy that they're able to do that.
Yeah.
We were talking about this off air earlier in the day. Like, how the hell is this line still going? So anybody not aware, this is a WWE HeMan Masters of the Universe mashup line. And this is like number 4 or 5 right here.
I think that one right there is line 5. They showed line 4.
I got that. Yeah, I got that too. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay, good.
I wanted to go in order. I want to go in chronological order. So the Fiend even gets a He-Man figure.
Which I think just as a toy collector, it's funny that this is going to hit wave 5 before the Masters of the Universe figures even come out.
Yeah. And all of these are supposed to be based off of characters. And if I was a kid, I would remember all of these characters, but I don't anymore. But look right by the Masters of the WWE Universe logo, Mr. T.
Yeah, right?
We're just talking about it.
Figure.
And I point out, anybody listening to the audio version of the show, you're missing out. This is why you need to live stream us, baby.
Yeah.
And so that's Seth Rollins in the bottom left.
Yes.
Which is a little odd. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of that one. And then I didn't realize that Jake the Snake uncovered. So the first time I saw him was just in that reject Lex Luthor outfit. And then where you could take off his face and his chest and there's a reptile underneath. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But then I also keep stuff I keep stuff in packages, so it wouldn't really do me any good. But
no, but I do love the fact that they made a Jake Roberts figure when he's in AEW. Like,
there's that too.
Yeah.
The former listener R&R on Wrestling Audio, Ramon wants to know: is this really live?
Yes,
I think so.
We should have been like, no,
it's not live.
No.
But how did we answer your question? Ooh. And here's the other one that was announced.
Yeah, another one.
This one ain't good. Okay, so Ricky the Dragon Steamboat will probably be around, but it's gonna be hard to find the other three.
Yes, totally.
That's the second Macho Man in this line already.
Yep.
But now it's the NWO, which I gotta have that. The Roddy Piper is fantastic, and I think the one that a lot of people are excited for, our first female figure.
Yeah.
In the line in Becky Lynch.
Yeah, I think that's crazy. That's amazing looking too.
It really is. So that line, we need to look out for one another on this line, everybody. Because when you see this, check with all your friends. Make sure that, they don't need something, or if they do need something, because this line's not going to be easy to find, except for Steamboat. I'm sure Steamboat will probably be a little bit easier.
I think the line with the New Day in it is hitting stores now. I've seen.
Just see the Ballz in a black shirt. Yeah, because you can't. Yeah. So, and then the last thing that I have that I wanted to point out is from day one.
Oh, okay.
I got a lot of people agreeing with me and a lot of people disagreeing with me on the Ringside Collectibles Instagram.
Oh, I was hoping we'd talk about that.
Bret Hart versus Goldberg. So an Elite 2-pack, which is becoming a bit more common now.
Yes.
Which I like that. Good Bret, great Goldberg.
The biggest complaint is Bret's hair. The last couple of figures have all done this.
Yeah.
So,
but you got the Nitro shirt. You got the old WC. You got the last WCW logo in the back of the packaging.
Mm-hmm.
And this is from the match where, Goldberg goes to spear him and Bret Hart is wearing the chest protector. That's what that white piece is next to the belt, which also is the first time I think we've seen this belt from him. The packaging is outstanding. There's so much good about this, except for the fact that Bret Hart soon after this would never wrestle again because of Goldberg.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely like they did it to get those specific pieces into a toy, like the belt, the shirt. Like they were like, oh, we need to figure out how to do this. Goldberg is another one of those guys who looks the same in every figure. So it's not like you need 6 different Goldbergs.
He's just a little bit grayer now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question to you. You watched WCW a hell of a lot more than I did. I read that this is wrong. That Bret should have jeans on during this, during whatever this is based off of. It's wrong.
It's true. The uncovered segment. I believe he had jeans, and I believe he had a Canadian, like a Hitman hockey jersey on.
So not even that WCW shirt that's in the package.
No, I mean it's gonna sell. People are gonna buy this one because of the accessories, and this, if it sells well enough, could be the open door that us longtime fans could have been looking for to get more former WCW packaging.
No, absolutely. Like if this does well, you could see more WCW and even some ECW stuff.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that would do well too.
And so I'm all for that. My bank account's not all for that, but I'm all for that. My walls are not all for that because that's running out of room. But I hope it does well. But at the same time, I hope it doesn't do well, because why are you reminding us of the matchup and feud that ended Bret the Hitman's Hart's career?
Right?
Why would you do that to us?
To get those specific pieces, especially because it's not like correct. Like if this was a brand new Bret Hart with jeans and a hockey jersey with the belt and the thing under it, I'd be like, all right, at least they're getting some brand new stuff out there. Like, no, this is just a repainted Bret with the same head they already had. I'm good.
See if I can find like an image real quick of what he looked like. I mean, so when they did wrestle, that's what Bret Hart wore.
Oh, okay.
But that wasn't with the chest piece. And as you probably won't be able to see it. Unfortunately, me showing a screen on a screen probably won't work, especially with this on here. But and look, you see jeans right there.
Yeah, he's totally has jeans on.
So that, like you said, incorrect, which I'm not a stickler on that stuff, but if you're going to try to remind us of this horribleness, which this was the jersey that he wore. It was a white and blue one.
Oh, wow. White and blue, not even black.
When Goldberg speared him or attempted to spear him, he hit that metal piece, as you see right there in the middle. And then knocked himself out, and that's when Bret Hart proceeded to pretend to pin him and whatnot in his attire. I mean, it's yeah. So it's an odd piece. I questioned it on the Ringside Instagram, and some people blasted me because how dare I not love this idea? And a lot of people are like, "What this guy said." Yeah.
And I did just look at Naomi, and I agree with you that it doesn't actually look like Naomi.
But the rest of it's outstanding. I would love that glow belt and everything.
Yeah, from the front view straight on camera, it doesn't look like her.
Yeah.
Which is a lot like who was it recently? Nikki Cross. That figure don't look like Nikki at all.
Not really, no. Not really. Are you looking at a wall of toys, or you got like a strip show going on over there?
I have an Instagram. I have Ringside's Instagram with all the photos. So I'm like trying to see if there's anything missing that I wanted to make sure we talked about. But no, I think we pretty much covered everything major announced.
Did we talk about Io Shirai? Her figure has got the entrance, the hood, and everything on it, which is pretty badass.
Bailey's new figure comes with a deflated Bailey buddy.
Rhea Ripley, Kushida. Yep. Angel Garza's getting a figure. King Corbin with the full get up.
Yeah.
Which may not be everybody's cup of tea, but we got who's Rey Mysterio's like cousin that they kept pushing down our throats?
Humberto Carrillo.
Thank you. That none of us are like, yeah, he's got one, a very plain one of all the stuff to go with.
Yeah.
The Humberto Carrillo one is like his white and blue attire, no entrance stuff, which if you're going to try to sell him.
It's a basic figure. I mean, it's a basic.
I don't care.
And then for like anyone who watched online, the Johnny Gargano had like a poll where you could pick whatever his new attire would be for a figure. Mm-hmm. The attire based on Wolverine won.
Yes.
So his next Elite figure will have his yellow and blue with the claw marks looking like.
I like that. I like that one a lot. I'm glad one of the Marvel ones won. I'm not happy about the Christian vote. Which, when you say the Christian vote, that doesn't sound like we're talking action figures anymore. So there was a vote for Christian attire for another Christian Elite.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
There was one from his goofy Edge and Christian days where he wore like the weird glasses that kind of like
that went back like this.
Yeah, the scuba type of yeah. So there was that one. There was the white and gold attire from the Ruthless Aggression era, which the picture they chose didn't have the jacket with the sleeves, but I wonder if that would have been included because that would look fantastic.
Yeah, especially
the one that won was the blue and yellow tights, I believe, with the purple kill switch engaged shirt.
Really?
Exactly. Like, I don't know a single person that voted for that one.
No.
But that won the vote. I think Russia interfered with this vote.
I was just going to say it was rigged, but yeah, let's go.
I think Russia interfered in this election.
Freaking Nikolai Volkov.
It's possible. It's possible. Rusev gets fired and he calls in some favors and make sure to screw up Christian's Elite. Yeah, you'll have to look that up. I'm
going to. It must have just been like right then, like hey, if you're watching now, vote, because I definitely didn't see anything promoting the vote, because I definitely would have voted differently.
Yeah, so we would have given probably more love to many of you commenting. I'm like, some stuff's just showing up now that was posted a while ago. So anybody that was wondering why maybe we didn't put your comment up, it's odd. Like, and it's funny. Like, I don't know if it's a StreamYard thing, but I put that the GFW amped picture up, the ring, the great lighting, and then I deleted it. And then I flipped categories, and I came back to this, and it was back again.
Oh.
And then I flipped categories to look at comments, came back, and it was gone again. So I think StreamYard, our service that we're using, a little confused, or this service is tired of me too.
This service also attacked by Russia.
Yeah, it's quite possible. Let me ask you there. Let me have this gentleman ask you a question here, Ballz, and then we'll wrap things up. Why do you think these companies have a hard time getting these toys correct?
I think there's probably a couple things. I mean, number one, I just think like likenesses are hard. Like
booze. They're probably drinking on the job. That's my answer.
Just alcoholics. I think the lead time is a little. I mean, it sucks in collecting all over. That 9 months to a year is pretty much what you expect from when you start playing a figure to when it sees shelves. So what we thought we liked then isn't necessarily what we like now. Or,
would that be more on attire though, or like accessories rather than like Naomi? I don't think her facial structure has probably changed that much within the 11 months.
No, and that's the thing. Like, obviously, they've gotten Naomi correct before.
Mm-hmm.
So how did this happen? Like, I don't know. Like, I do think, especially with like attires and accessories and stuff that makes sense a year ago doesn't make sense now. You're like, oh man, that was great. Oh man, that only really lasted a month and it was gone. And now you're like, all right. That's why I think a lot of these legends make the most sense, because they're more nostalgic.
It's just odd that some of these stars can have such great likenesses. And then somebody like Edge, as we mentioned, Kofi Kingston, for so many figures, like they just can't get some of these stars right. And I get, you don't want to keep doing the same mold either. You want to change the facial sculpt to smiling, screaming, serious, and facial hair, no facial hair, hairstyle change, especially with the females. I mean, I get it, but some of these
stars has been part of the problem with like Kofi is that he tries to do like a fun scan or like a thing, and it just screws up. Like, you can't capture that correctly.
But it's odd. But Big E's are just fine.
Yes.
So
and I think we'll say like in some instances it's the paint that, like, if you were to strip the paint away, the scan would look fantastic. But once the paint's applied, and it either covers up some of the detail and it just looks smoother and it just loses some of itself in it. Like I see that in not as much as wrestling, but a lot of other figures, that once you add the paint, it's just not nearly as good as what it looked like without it.
Yeah, paint's probably a big factor on that. You're probably right about that.
So I don't know, but I mean, there's definitely some figures they don't get correct, and I don't know what's so hard about it.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the real scan technology and whatnot. But I would love if a representative from one of those companies would allow us to take such a tour to be able to see how it works. So maybe we can better answer this question in the future.
Yes. Please reach out to us on Twitter.
Nudge. Somebody, anybody.